Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I want to show you how to update the Topsky F7X V2 goggles. And there has been two updates released recently, which the first one has to be flashed with the MStar Tool. There's just no way around. That new firmware fixes some cropped image, and you can also choose now between 4:3 or 16:9 in the settings. That means you can either stretch it or squeeze the image, depends what kind of storage you got. And the second update can be done through your SD card. That's fixing the file names of the DVR, which is recorded. Before it was very mixed up. Now it's consecutive from 1 to just, counting upwards. That can be done easily. First, I'm gonna show you how to use the MStar Tool. For that case, I needed to get me a wire, and you have to connect, can I get it sharp, from ground to TX and RX. You don't need the 5 watts for the goggles so far. So those 3 wires, they made me that plot. Mark the ground black. Okay, that's just my extension, and that's the tool for now. The more difficult part is the goggle itself. Therefore, you gotta remove 2 screws over here, and then that cap over here where the SD card sits, and then just gently pull it apart. Be careful, in the front are our flat band cables, don't break them. Here, 1, 2, just use your fingernail and pull them off. Okay, should look like that. We don't need it's actually the lower half. We need the upper half. Prepare some wires for upcoming soldering. That wires, in my case, can be connected to my adapter. It looks like that. Black wire for the ground, black wire for the ground here. So what are we gonna do next? We have 1 wire for the ground, 1 wire for, as I mentioned before, TX, 1 wire for the RX. The same we gotta find out here, but here it's not. There's actually 1 space where it's named ground, TX and RX, but we don't need that. If you see that, I hope I can get it sharp. There's 1 spot over here, ground, TX, RX, forget about that one. There shouldn't be even some tin on. That's the other spot. Ground, SDA, SCL. Okay, that's where we want to solder on our wires. Black, green, yellow. Ground, SDA, SCL. Ground, TX, RX. Okay, that was the most difficult part for now. I just push it through here front, through that grill, and we gotta reassemble. That means you gotta take the flat band cable, those 2 you pulled out before, and gently apply some pressure. Don't stress them, don't stretch them. Okay, that's it. Check if they sit well. Another tip, because I did that already, check if the power connector board here fits well, because I pulled that off the first time I took my goggles apart. Just be careful that connector here. Check your wires, check the flat band, okay, and put it back together. You don't have to put it back together, but just, better feeling. and also the connector here sits better in my opinion. Alright, next step is you have to be careful. Make sure you connect ground to ground. Double check if that sits right over here. Get it sharp. Okay, check your MStar tool. It doesn't have to be the same orientation. For the update itself, you need to get the update files, so check my description, download the files, extract that, and then go to driver and update the debug board driver for either Windows 10 or Windows 7. I'm doing the update with Windows 10. That's why we're going to be using the ISP tool. If you run on Windows 7, that's a different tool, and there's also a little description for you in that doc file, but it's basically the same. You just gonna open the tool. Not yet for us. We're gonna connect the USB tool first. Keep the battery ready, but don't connect it yet. Connect the goggle, ground to ground, and make sure the status light is on. In that case it's not. So I disconnected, wait a couple of seconds, try it again, and the light is on. Open the ISP tool, go to the tab read image, choose the file over here, not the SD card file, so it should look like that. Tap auto, untick reconnect, and then try to connect the goggle. It shouldn't do anything. It should say can't find the device. That's good, because we gotta connect our battery. It beeped. That means something was wrong. It shouldn't beep. So we're gonna try it again. Disconnect, connect the MStar tool, then connect the battery, and it didn't beep. Now it's ready for the flashing. That means you try to connect again, and it found our device. You can see that over here and over there, EN25F80. When that's done, press run, and you can see it's erasing and programming. It takes about, I don't know, 30 seconds in total, maybe a bit more, and it's done. And time, pass, green. Disconnect battery, disconnect the MStar tool, and desolder the wires. For the second update, it's pretty easy though. You just need an SD card, maximum 32 gigabytes. In my case, I got a little card reader over here. Put the new file, the bin file, in the root path of your SD card. Insert that SD card and plug in the battery, and leave it there for about 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, unplug the battery, get your SD card out, and check if the file is still there or not there anymore. If it's not there anymore, it did the update successfully. If the file is still there, try it again, wait for another 3 minutes, switch it off, and check the SD card again. That's it for today, guys. I'm happy to help, and I hope to see you next time. Happy flying!